The quarantine chamber was small, barely large enough for two people to stand without touching. The walls were a sterile white, illuminated by a soft, artificial glow. A single vent circulated air, and a digital clock on the wall ticked down the hours until the quarantine would end, 72 hours. 3 days. For Lieutenant Marcus Hale, it felt like a prison sentence. He had been on a routine mission to investigate a derelict alien vessel drifting near the edge of human space. The ship had been abandoned for centuries, its creators long gone. But when Marcus had stepped aboard, something had triggered an automated quarantine protocol. Before he could react, he was sealed inside the chamber with her. The alien girl stood on the opposite side of the chamber, her arms crossed over her chest. She was tall, nearly 7 feet, with shimmering, iridescent skin that shifted colors like a living opal. Her eyes were large and almond-shaped, glowing faintly with an inner light. She wore a form-fitting suit that seemed to be part of her body, blending seamlessly with her skin. She looked at him with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. Marcus sighed and leaned against the wall, sliding down to sit on the floor. "Well, this is just great," he muttered. "Stuck in a box with an alien who probably wants to kill me." The girl tilted her head, her expression unreadable. "I do not wish to kill you," she said, her voice melodic but cold. "But I do not trust you either." Marcus blinked, surprised. "You speak English?" "I am speaking my own language," she replied. "The chamber is translating for us. It is a standard protocol for interspecies quarantine." "Of course it is," Marcus muttered. He ran a hand through his short-cropped hair. "Look, I don't know who you are or why you're here, but I'm not looking for trouble. I just want to get out of this damn box." The girl studied him for a moment, then nodded. "I am Zara," she said. "I am a scientist. I was studying the ship when the quarantine was activated." "Marcus," he replied. "Lieutenant Marcus Hale, United Earth Alliance. I was sent to investigate the ship. Guess we both got more than we bargained for." Zara's lips twitched, almost like a smile. "It would seem so." The hours dragged on in silence. Marcus tried to make himself comfortable, but the floor was hard and cold. He glanced at Zara, who remained standing, her posture rigid. She seemed to be meditating, her eyes closed and her breathing slow and steady. "You're not going to sit down?" Marcus asked. Zara opened her eyes and looked at him. "I do not require rest as you do," she said. "My species can enter a state of suspended animation to conserve energy." "Lucky you," Marcus muttered. He leaned his head back against the wall and closed his eyes, trying to ignore the growing ache in his muscles. The first day passed slowly. Marcus and Zara exchanged few words, each keeping to their side of the chamber. But as the hours turned into a second day, the tension began to ease. Marcus found himself curious about Zara. She was unlike any alien he had encountered before. "So," he said, breaking the silence. "What's your deal? You said you're a scientist. What are you studying?" Zara looked at him, her glowing eyes narrowing slightly. "I study the remnants of ancient civilizations," she said. "This ship belongs to a race that disappeared millennia ago. I was hoping to learn more about them." "Same here," Marcus said. "Humans are always looking for clues about our past. And our future." Zara nodded. "Your species is young, but you are ambitious. You have already begun to explore the stars." "Yeah, well, we're trying," Marcus said with a shrug. "But we've got a long way to go." Zara tilted her head, studying him. "You are different from the others I have encountered," she said. "Most humans are aggressive. But you seem curious." Marcus chuckled. I guess that's one way to put it. I've always been more interested in learning than fighting. Zara's lips twitched again, almost like a smile. Perhaps there is hope for your species after all. By the third day, the tension between them had all but disappeared. They talked about their respective cultures, their histories, and their dreams. Marcus learned that Zara's people, the Lumine, were a peaceful race of explorers and scholars. They valued knowledge above all else. We believe that understanding is the key to harmony, Zara said. If all species could learn from one another, there would be no need for conflict. Sounds like a nice idea, Marcus said. But in my experience, not everyone sees it that way. Zara nodded. I know. But that does not mean we should stop trying. Marcus smiled. You're pretty wise, you know that? Zara's eyes glowed brighter, and for the first time, she smiled back. Thank you, Marcus. The clock on the wall finally reached 0, and the chamber's door slid open with a soft hiss. Marcus stood, stretching his stiff muscles. Zara remained standing, her posture as regal as ever. Well, Marcus said, I guess this is goodbye. Zara nodded. It is. But I am glad to have met you, Marcus. You have given me hope for your species. And you've given me a new perspective, Marcus replied. Maybe one day our people can work together. Zara's smile widened. I would like that. As they stepped out of the chamber, they were met by a team of human and Lumine scientists. The two groups eyed each other warily, but Marcus and Zara stood side by side, a bridge between their worlds. Take care of yourself, Zara, Marcus said. And you, Marcus, Zara replied. May the stars guide your path. As they went their separate ways, Marcus couldn't help but feel that something had changed. For the first time, he saw the universe not as a place of conflict, but as a place of possibility. And he knew that, thanks to Zara, he would never look at it the same way again.